Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children and adults, welcome to Robert's Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, NASCAR Cup Series, Fast Pro Shops, night race at Bristol, 500 laps under the lights, 266.5 miles, 3 stages, 125, 125, and 250. We have a new right side softer quote tire. We know in practice today it didn't make that big a difference. What we had for the spring race a year or so ago, 54 lead changes. We knew those tires corded. They brought the same tire back the fall. It didn't do anything. This past spring was the same. It didn't do the same thing. The biggest difference is temperature. Track temperature, outside temperature. And that's the biggest thing we've noticed about this Gen 7 car is the air temperature and the track temperature matter so much. A few degrees here or there changes it, so drastically changes it. What's going on with the Goodyear rubber with that? Why it's making that big a change, no one knows, and that they can't even recreate it. Hopefully they figure something out. We do have tire wear. Goodyear's trying. I know everyone says, just fix the car, fix the car. What? There's nothing broke on the car that's not causing tire wear. The problem is, there was an era in the sport where we wore out tires. People complained. True, yeah, they did. So Goodyear changed it to a tire basically that didn't wear out. Well, we ran that tire for so long, and then everyone complained. Now, to get back to where the tire wears out has been getting the issue. Safety, because there was a time where there was a tire war with Hoosier Goodyear. And fans that remember that, there were tires blowing out all the time. It was basically, forget safety, go for speed. Caused a lot of issues. There's a lot of stuff that came out of that. Safety's got to be a priority. So we can't have these tires blowing out. We need them to wear, and then tires matter. Fresh tires matter. So based on practice, it looks like they'll probably split the first 2 stages in half, roughly, and then probably split the third stage in a third. Hopefully we see tire wear. The last 15 races, 11 had 9 cautions or less. Last 3 races, 2, 5, and 3. We're not getting the same cautions at Bristol that we once did. 4 of the last 5 races have had less than 12 lead changes. Only that May of 2024 had 54. Again, that tire that day, because of the temperature, it changed it. 17 straight Bristol races have not gone to overtime. The days of the, quote, bump and run, the days of the trying to rattle his cage and wrecked him, those are over. That's the history of the sport. We need to move forward from that. We're not going back to that. The last 2 Bristol races said 4 liters each. I know that people complain about that. I understand. Kyle Larson led 462 laps and 411 laps. That's not abnormal for Bristol. No, that's par. 08 and 09, Kyle Busch, 378 and 415. Kyle Busch led 415 straight laps at Bristol. Did not win the race. Rusty Wallace in 96 and 97 led 353 and 240, and in 1999 led 425 laps. 1973, Cale Yarborough led every single lap at Bristol. That's old Bristol, folks. Cale led every lap. In 77, he led 495 and 500 laps. Fred Lorenzen did the same thing in 1964. So this old Bristol that everyone wants back, that's what Cale did. That's what Rusty did. It's happened before. We've had drivers that just get hooked up at Bristol. Darrell Waltrip won 7 straight races there. So what Kyle Larson is doing is not abnormal. It is unique, yes, but it's been done before. He's the first driver and will be the last driver to do it. So we don't need to just throw the car out, throw the track out, and do all this. That's called overreacting. In the last 5 Bristol races, mind you, that's 3 fall races and 2 spring races, because there was 2 spring races that were ran on dirt. We're not including those. The last 5 races on Bristol concrete, Seabell, average running position 4.992. Kyle Larson 5.078. Denny Hamlin 5.348. The next spot is more than double. So 3 drivers: Christopher Bell 4.9, Kyle Larson 5.0. This is average running position. Denny Hamlin 5.3. Next up, Chase Elliott 11.9. Ty Gibbs 12.4. Chase Briscoe 13.0. Alex Bowman 13.5. Brad Keselowski 14.1. Average finishes are in those 5 races. Again, the first 4 are single digits, and then it doubles almost. Kyle Larson, the last 5 races, average finish, this is insane, 2.8 with 2 wins. Denny Hamlin 3.4 with 2 wins. Seabell 6.0. Chase Elliott 6.8, and then goes to Chris Buescher at 10.2 in a win. Ross Chastain 12.2. Brad Keselowski 13.2. Chase Briscoe 13.2. Now, the last 3 fall races, all with Gen 7 car. Average running position: Christopher Bell 3.993, Kyle Larson 5.12, Denny Hamlin 6.2, William Byron 8.6, Chase Elliott 9.4, Chris Buescher 10.6, Michael McDowell 11.1, and Cole Custer 12.2. Average finish the last 3 fall races: the night race at Bristol, Larson 2.66 in a win, average finish, mind you. Chase Elliott 3.66, Seabell 4.0, Denny Hamlin 4.6 in the win, Chris Buescher 6.33 in a win, Cole Custer 8.0, Michael McDowell 9.3, Ryan Preece 9.5. Now, there's been 10 stages ran at Stage 1, Stage 2, ran at Bristol in the Gen 7 era. Seabell has finished in the top 10 all stages with an average of 3.8, and he won 3 of them, 3 stages. Kyle Larson also finished in the top 10 in all stages, average finish 3.9 with 4 stage wins. Ty Gibbs finished top 10 in 7 stages, average 5.42. Alex Bowman and Denny Hamlin both finished top 10 in 6 stages, average finish 4.5 each. And then Chase Briscoe, 5 stages, average finish 6.2. The NASCAR Fantasy Live lineup, again, during the playoffs, you can use each driver up to 5 times. I'm going with the A team here. I'm going with Seabell, Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott, Chris Buescher, and I am putting Ty Gibbs in my garage pick. I have a feeling that kid is due to come out winning. He won both stages a couple years ago here. I think he can do it. Head-to-heads, Austin Cindric and SVG, Austin Cindric. Again, SVG is a rookie. Chastain and Bowman, picking Chastain. Elliott and Logano, I'm taking Elliott. Barry and Dillon, I'm taking Austin Dillon. On the old points, this is the cutoff race for the round of 16. The lowest score in points after this race will be eliminated from the playoffs. So we go from 16 to 12. I know SPG is going to get eliminated more than likely. I picked it. Everybody else picked it. I did a video on here. I picked it. I did my picks on NASCAR.com fantasy. We all had Shane Van Gisbergen going out here. He is a rookie. Most of these drivers have grown up their entire life racing on ovals. SPG hasn't. So right now, the way the points, Denny Hamlin was win at Gateway. I was there. Great time. It was awesome. And Chase Briscoe both got the wins. Kyle Larson plus 60. There's some weird ass scenario where he can miss it. Don't see it. I mean, you'd have to have somebody like a Dillon, SVG, Bowman, or Barry win. Everybody else, and Larson would have to finish dead last. Everybody else have to finish in the top 5. I mean, it's just, there is a scenario out there where Kyle Larson could technically be eliminated. I don't see it. He's plus 60. He's in. Same with Bubba Wallace, plus 50. I think he's safe. Ryan Blaney plus 42 is safe. William Byron plus 39, safe-ish. Tyler Reddick plus 37, safe-ish. Seabell plus 32, safe-ish. Chase Elliott plus 28, he can't have problems. Joey Logano plus 21, can't have problems. Ross Chastain plus 19, really needs a good run. Austin Cindric plus 11, needs a good run. Austin Dillon minus 11. not must win, but got to be top 5. I don't see the speed in that 3 car. SVG minus 15. Doesn't need to win, but needs a good top 5 finish. Have a few people have some issues. Alex Bowman minus 35, he's got to win. Josh Berry minus 45, got to win. I think it basically stays. I think Dillon, SVG, Bowman, and Berry get eliminated. Now, for you non-playoff folks out there, and I've done this last few videos and I've talked about it. So the playoffs. We complained when you win and you're in. We don't like that. Get rid of that so the folks like Austin Dillon, Shane Van Gisbergen, and Josh Berry wouldn't make the playoffs. So based on top 16 in points only. Gotcha. So if we did that right now, Chris Buescher would be +3 to the cut line. Austin Cindric would be -3. Ryan Preece would be -7. Ty Gibbs would be -15. More than likely, the 4 that went home would be Bowman, Buescher, Preece, Gibbs. So the ones that made it on a win, Dillon, SVG, Josh Berry, more likely to be eliminated. If we didn't have the win in your end and just went off top 16 in points, the 3 that would replace them, Buescher, Preece, Gibbs, more than likely would have been eliminated. So it would have been a complete wash. I know everyone talks about get rid of the playoffs. NASCAR's not, and Freddie Kraft said this, NASCAR is not going back to a full 36 race schedule. Jordan Bianchi said the same thing. Jordan Bianchi did say the whole 3-3-4 thing, which set some people off. But if there was no playoffs, just on points, William Byron have a 42-point lead over Kyle Larson. 61 points is the most points you can earn in a race. You get 1 for starting, 60-point difference. So Willie B would be basically 18 points away from a full race lead. Denny Hamlin -44, Ryan Blaney -46, Chase Elliott -57, basically be out of it. Christopher Bell -78, that's more than a race. Chase Briscoe 89 is more than a race. Tyler Reddick in 8th is -109, more than a race. Bubba in 9th, -188, and then Chris Buescher in 10th, -203, which is 3 races. So technically, if we had no playoffs, you would have 9 drivers within 3 races. You only have 8 drivers within 2 races of the points lead. You have Byron, who's almost a full race ahead. There really wouldn't be a big point race. Now, in the playoff era, the 11 seasons, twice the winner of the future champion won the first race. The future champion has never won race 2 of the playoffs. In 11 years of this playoff system, the winner of race 2 of the playoffs has never went on to win the championship. Until 2025, and Denny Hamlin does it. Only one future champion has ever won the final race, the third race, this race. Now, the last 3 champions finished outside the top 20 at Bristol. Yeah, weird stat, right? The last 3 champions, I'm talking Joey, Ryan, and Joey. So Joey twice and Ryan Blaney finished outside the top 20 at the Bristol night race. Lot to eat on there. Now, we had qualifying earlier today, and we have AJ Allmendinger on the pole, followed by Ryan Blaney, Austin Cindric, Ty Gibbs, Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, William Byron, Bubba Wallace, C. Bell, and Josh Berry as the top 10. If we look at where the winner of Bristol has started since 2018, so the first race in 2018, the pole winner has won 3 Bristol races. It's 12 races. 3 times the pole winner has won. During those 12 races, only 2 times has anybody outside the top 5, so 3 times somebody outside the top 5 in qualifying went on to win the race. 2018, Kurt Busch. 2019, Kyle Busch. and then 2022 Chris Buescher. If you even go back further, see 2016 Kevin Harvick started 24th. Kyle Busch started 20th in 2007. Dale Jr. started at 30th in 2004. Typically, you got to qualify top 10, top 5 to win at Bristol. That's not because it's hard. You can't pass in this car and you need to junk this car. We're talking back in the day with other cars. They started racing at Bristol in 1961. From 1961 through 1984, you had in 83 DW started 13th. 1970 Bobby Allison started 10th. Pearson in 67 started 14th. And in 62 Jim Pasquale finished 12th. Otherwise you had to be in the top 10. So even Alan Kwiecki won here in 92 starting from the pole. He won back-to-back races, 91, 92, 5th and 1st where he started. If you look at Gordon, he started in the top 5, top 10 when he won. You look at Larson, the last 2 times he's won, 2nd and 3rd. Denny Hamlin, 2nd and 3rd. So in the Gen 7 era, Buescher started 20th in 2022. Since then, the spring race was won by Denny Hamlin and Kyle Larson. They both started 2nd. The night race was started 3rd by Denny and by Kyle Larson. Even if you go back to 22, Buescher started 20th. You go back to 21, Larson started 5th. Harvick started 4th in 20. In 19, Hamlin won from the pole. In 18, Kurt started 9th. In 17, Kyle Busch started 18th. So top 10, third through 5th. So we look at the starting lineup. 3rd through 5th, Austin Cindric, Ty Gibbs, Kyle Larson. So of the playoff drivers, Chase Briscoe at 31st. Shane Van Gisbergen at 28th, Austin Dillon at 23rd, Logano at 22nd, Elliott at 16th, Bowman at 15th. Typically, winners at Bristol don't come from that far back. That's not a Gen 7 era thing. That's a Bristol thing. All right. Now, before I get to my 4 picks, there's been a lot of talk about playoffs, non-playoffs. I think there needs to be a playoff. My idea: change the points, change the schedule, revamp them both. The points would be 200 points to a winner, 5 points per position down to 40th. Stage points, 50 for the winner, 5 points down to 10th place. If you win the race, you get 20 playoff points. If you finish second, you get 3 playoff points. If you finish third, you get 1. If you win a stage, you get 5 playoff points. If you finish second, you get 2. If you finish third, you get 1. Winning your in still's there. Top 15 in points make the playoffs, plus any additional winners. So that first round could be 15 plus ever how many winners outside the top 15 they are. This year would be 18. So you take your playoffs, you add all your playoff points, you do your reset, 1 through whatever the number is. Let's just say 18. You run 3 races. Only your top 12 move on. The ones that were eliminated, they fall back to wherever they would be in points. So, for instance, Shane Van Gisbergen. More than likely, if he wasn't in the playoffs, he'd be 24, 25, 26, somewhere in there. In my scenario, once he's eliminated, he falls back down to wherever he was. So you had 18 playoff teams. You run 3 races, 12 move on. No win and move on. No reset. You run your 3. You have your 12 drivers. You run your 3 races. The top 8 move on. Again, you don't do no reset, no win and move on. Once you're eliminated, you fall back to wherever you would fall in points. Once you get to the round of 8, they lock in the top 8 spots and points. No reset, no win and move on. So you start your round of 8, you run 3 races, you get to your finale. At your finale, you have 4 drivers. You do a reset based on playoff points. So every one of the playoff points you've earned from race 1 through 35, you add them in right now for your 4 final playoff drivers. And then you run the race. Is there a possibility of somebody clinching early? Yes. But you would not know it until after that 35th race. I personally would be cool with that. You're not going to know until the race is over once the official results come out, because you get DQs, and then you do the reset, and then hey, this is who got X number of points. Doubt they would clinch it early, but you never know. I know what Jordan Bianchi said. Just spitballing here. What if they did 3, 3, and 4 races? Really? So basically, you're eliminated around the playoffs. My guess is you would have 8 drivers for 4 races to crown a champion. I don't love it. I don't hate it. The only issue I see with it is you could have a driver win 3 of the 4 races and not win the championship. And you could have a driver run 6 through 10 those 4 races and be your champion. And then the social media world would explode. That's why I think having some type of a similar playoff, but change the points, add the playoff points, get rid of the win and move on, get rid of the resets after every round. So you reset when the playoffs start, you reset the 4 going into the finale on my scenario. But that's just my scenario. Schedule-wise, I don't think we need to go against the NFL. I think NASCAR needs to end either Labor Day or the weekend after Labor Day. Here's why I say that. We have noticed over the last 2 or 3 years, as you get deeper into the NASCAR playoffs, going up against the NFL, ratings go down. What the ratings are for the first 26 races are not the same as they are for the final 10. I know everyone, well, the playoffs are supposed to up the ratings. When the playoffs started, 2004, things were different. Think about how much entertainment they have now, how much on demand, how many streaming. You got this, you got this. There's so much accessibility to entertainment out there. NASCAR's not the only sport in town. You have the NFL. You have every NFL game is televised. So I think not going against the NFL might be the future thought process. If week 1 of the NFL is your championship week, you might be able to pull some of those fans. Hey, I can secondarily watch a football game. I want to watch a championship race. Start the season in January. Not the conference championship weekend, the weekend before that. The 2 weekends before that. So during the wild card playoffs and the divisional round, typically those games start at 3 and 7. Start the race at noon or 1. So it leads into the football games. I think you're going to have, yes, you may lose viewers on those 2 races, but I think you would catch them on the back end. So I think it would offset. You might have some weekday races, or you would have to have weekday races. The hope would be a Thursday night NASCAR race under the lights at Bristol or under the lights at Charlotte might pull more ratings than a playoff race going against the NFL. Just a thought. I'm going to do some videos toward the end of the season. But as for the Bass Pro Shops night race at Bristol, the 4 picks to win. Yes, got to go with Kyle Larson. Not a Larson fan, but I know when to pick him, when not to. Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell, and Chase Elliott are the 4 picks. As always, thanks for watching Rubber Sports Show, and don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Rubber Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports content.